In case you didn't know, Solar Titan is back, and probably the strongest it's ever been, letting you nuke pretty much any health bar in the game effortlessly, as long as you're close enough to bonk them. So in today's video, I'm gonna be going over my favorite Solar Titan build that pretty much puts anything in the game to shame. Starting off with a subclass, we're obviously going to be on Solar. For Super, I'm using Hammer of Soul. The jump and the barricade are up to you, and you're going to want to toss on the healing grenade. For this build, I wouldn't recommend any other grenade, purely because it'll just be less damage than your hammer. So definitely use this slot for some health and panic situations. For aspects, we'll be going Soul Invictus to generate sunspots when you get kills with your hammer, as well as Roaring Flames to boost our damage. For fragments, we'll take torches to make you radiant from using your powered melee, Searing for a fire sprite on scorched enemy kills, Solace to increase restoration and radiant duration, and Empyrean to increase radiant and restoration even more. The reason for these picks are to give you two sources of healing during your normal gameplay loop, one being from solar ability blows, and the other being from sunspots generated by the kill. Moving on to the weapons, you can really take this in any direction you want, since the thing you'll be using 90% of the time is your hammer. Some really good picks here though would be a 1-2 punch shotgun to increase your damage even more, allowing you to one-shot higher health enemies like champions, and the tractor cannon to give you an easy debuff for even more damage. Moving on to armor, first off you're going to want to get your melee stat as high as possible. Since the more melee stat you have, the more damage you do, if you find yourself not being able to get close to 200, you can always toss on some font mods to give yourself an extra bump. As for the other stats, again it's up to your preference. I would probably go for something like Super or Grenade, but really the main focus here is just on melee. Moving on to the exotic, there are two ways you can go. Either Syntheseps or Worm Gods. Syntheseps are much easier to keep up, since you only need to be near enemies to get it to proc, but Worm Gods allows you to crank out more damage. So personally, I'm taking Worm Gods. As for the mods, on my helmet I'm taking Hands On, a Strand Solar Siphon, and a Kinetic Siphon. For gauntlets, Heavy Handed, Momentum Transfer, my chest is just Resist. For my legs I have Recuperation, Absolution, and Invigoration. And finally on my class item, I have a Time Dilation, Distribution, and a Special Finisher. Obviously these mods can be changed depending on your situation, and it's also important to mention that I'm using the Solstice 4-piece set bonus, which gives me another source of healing from rapid solar final blows. This armor is still easy to get right now, so if you want to, I would definitely take advantage before Solstice ends. Now that we have our build made, I want to quickly talk about the gameplay loop and how you should use it. And honestly, for the most part, it's pretty brainless. All you really have to do is bonk stuff. Ideally, to initially get the build going, take out a minor ad to start building your stacks up, and by the time your Worm Gods get to around 3 stacks, you'll be able to one-shot just about any non-boss enemy in the game. For actual bosses, this build is still super effective. Just make sure your Worm God stacks are full before you start damage, and rotate between a 1-2 punch shot and your hammer. And that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, you can click here to watch another one, or here to subscribe.